There is a fifth dimension.
A dimension of sound.
Damn it, Frank! We tell him to be quiet. I spilled my hot cup of Uranus again.
A dimension of sight.
Hey, Arch. I'm gonna sock you in the puss.
A dimension of mind.
Nan Adams, is that you?
Next stop, the Twilight Zone.
Oh, man. You guys ready to talk about some stopwatches and some McNulty's and some lettuce and Cash and Kalamazoos? Actually, I'm just from now on, I'm going to call Jacob Cash, Triv, lettuce. I'm going to be old Kalamazoo. How's that
Old
sound?
Kalamazoo. Old Kalamazoo. Word.
Right.
Oh, before we start, Jake, there's a horror movie on Tubi called Low Lives.
What is it? Horror? Or is it?
It's horror. It's like it's kind of like there's not a ton of gore. Tubi kind of comes off to me like I don't know, like when
Is it
Sci-Fi
horror or
Channel
is it
does horror.
horrible?
No, it's actually not bad. Like it's decent attempt. It was an original, but it's
One
kind
word?
of yeah, or Low Life. No, Low Lives.
Low Life is a. That's why I thought you were
It's,
talking about. That's a movie I reviewed years ago.
No, it came out this year, like this month.
That's what I call myself,
2024?
low life.
Yeah.
Low Lives.
Specifically, it's a Tubi original. Actually,
That's
they've put out some decent shit. Like not all of it's good, but they've got some decent ones. I was surprised.
Guys, we're back. It's after 4th of July. Life's over. Welcome to the Twilight Zone of Fifth Dimension podcast. How we doing tonight? How's everybody doing? How's life?
I'm not flooded
Is
out
it-
yet, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Well, if you just had a stopwatch, you could stop the flooding.
But could I?
You could.
Are you
could.
sure?
I mean, it would have.
But
to
then we'd all be.
eventually.
See the thing is, like, this guy's got it all wrong. You know, he has all the power in the world now. He can sleep however long he wants. Never have to worry about time. He can eat as much pizza as he wants. He doesn't. He actually can go about this world and not worry about his glasses falling off. You know.
That's one thing I saw in one of the reviews was that this was this is like a dollar store version of Time Enough at Last.
Kinda. I see where
I
they're
think-
coming from.
I think the thing is that the tone tries to be one way and then it tries to slap in another way, another tone at the end, and it's just like,
Yeah, it does.
yeah,
There's a tonal shift.
yeah.
Because I was
Which-
actually
which
thinking the whole
might-
time, I was like, hey, it's been a while since we've had a funny episode, like a lighthearted, goofy episode.
Well, we had the one at the end of last season that tried to be funny, but it was ultimately kind of stupid. The one really annoying guy. Did they close out season 4? The guy that that shit, I can't even remember what the episode was about.
You're making me think.
Good. Maybe you can
Passage
remember.
of Lady Anne. Is that the
no,
episode?
no, it was after that. No, it
Bard.
was the Bard. Yeah, it was the Bard. Like that was
Yeah,
supposed to be
terrible
funny.
episode.
Which one was
Yes.
the bard? Oh, that's right.
The one with the Bard.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the place where you
William
you go
Shakespeare.
called the Bard. Yeah.
And I will also add the dude in this and the dude in that are basically the same person.
But
I like this guy more, and I mean that's saying something. McGillicuddy, whatever.
Women's foundational garments.
right. I mean, to be fair,
there.
Triv, we have another funny episode coming next week called The Last Night of the Jockey. So, I mean, that's tons of hilariousness because
Oh
it's so
yeah,
bad.
that's totally funny episode, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I
Mickey
believe
Rourke,
you. Wink,
Yeah.
wink, 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 wink.
I feel like this is not a funny episode that we're talking about.
No, it's not. It's
Hey, Jacob.
Hey,
if I could do that, I would, but my hands don't work that way.
Right. Your hands just go. You do the bewitched thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we talked about Nightmare at 20,000 Feet last week. Pretty good episode. Raymond was on, talked about it with us.
Yeah.
This
we did.
this week we're doing season 5, episode 4, called A Kind of Stopwatch, directed by John Rich, teleplay by Rod Serling. Feature production code 2609, air date October 18th, 1963. So it's Richard Erdman, Herbie, Faye, Leon Belasco, Doris, Singleton. All right. So A Kind of Stopwatch, an episode I remember fondly. May not have been as good as I remember it. One of those types of episodes. But it's been parodied many times. The stuff like clock stoppers and Jacob's favorite segment of our podcast. What thing was parodied by The Simpsons? Which it was.
Treehouse of Horror?
Yeah, Treehouse
So-
of Horror.
So I was
Trip?
actually
Yeah.
expecting, because I remember the end of this, or a version of this being where like the person stops the watch and there's like a missile that's headed for them. And it turns out that that was actually the 80s Twilight Zone that did a variation on this called A Little Bit of Peace or something like that.
Oh, really? Yeah,
It's
it seems like
a little peace and quiet. The ideas from this were used in that. So I got my stuff
seems
screwed
like-
up.
Right. It seems like the 80s were very much just redoing the Twilight Zone episodes,
Yeah,
which kind of sucks. But I mean, Johnny Bravo did it. How about that?
absolutely.
The Garfield show. Yeah. And Click. I don't know. This episode's fine. I don't really hate this episode, but I don't really love this episode. It's like it's one of those episodes that will clearly be on a run through of the Twilight Zone during a marathon, but it's not one you're gonna go and remember after a while. You're just gonna remember the ending, similar to Time Enough at Last. But the main problem I have with this episode is it has an annoying character. It has an annoying premise. It has unlikable characters, but that's about it. Like it just has a cool ending, which once again, as you know, Jacob and I alluded to, it has a tonal shift, which is probably the most off-putting thing about
Yep.
it. But
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
See, and I think I like this one more than you guys did, at least for
No,
that
no, I-
perspective.
Hey, I didn't
well,
say.
no,
whether
I don't
liked it or
hate
not.
it. Yeah,
no,
I
but I
don't
think
hate
I
it,
don't
but
I don't
yeah.
think that the tonal shift that you're talking about bugged me as much. It kind
It
of
didn't
felt
bug
like
me,
that.
but it was there.
No, it totally was. It felt like, when you get that kid that's like running around doing dumb shit and all of a sudden the house is burning down and he stops and realizes like what he's done. I feel like that's kind of what I got from that ending was, like basically fuck around and find out.
Right.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he definitely did that. But man, that's the implications of this ending, or what I think depressed me the most. Like where?
Well,
you mean
what-
Cooper
what
getting
happens
it on
after
with the
the credits?
secretary or getting stuck with the secretary for eternity?
What happens after the credits roll? I mean, this dude's like stuck. I'm not gonna because like my mind went places. It's like he's just stuck there forever like that with all these people, but nobody at the same time. And I was like, what do you do? What do you
try
do?
and fix the
That's just
damn
what it is.
watch.
But I mean,
Well, the question.
assuming that can't happen, you're just this is what it is. You finally accept that. What do you do? How many people frozen in time do you have sex with, and how many different ways?
Do you? Okay, there's a
And
movie.
will they-
What's the movie?
This is where my mind went. Well, how can I put this without being really graphic?
About getting next channel demonetized?
Yeah. Well, let's say he did that. Let's go down that rabbit hole for a minute. And would it, would it function like if time was moving, or would everything there just stay the same? Would he need to add
Are
something?
you saying if he
I'm
did
assuming
something
it's
and it came
mannequin.
out?
So
Are you
it's
talking about
rough.
like if it
That's
came
a
out,
rough
would it
ride.
freeze?
He need to
Well,
find
no, I was
somebody
saying-
who's already in the thralls, someone who's about to be, or he'd have to add something in there, Anyway, this is probably not a direction we want to go.
Yeah, when stuff comes out, it just freezes as it comes out. That type of thing. It would be really
I mean,
weird.
it's still part of him, so I would assume that.
Yeah.
No, not that. I'm talking about the other person, because if he goes to do his thing, things could be.
He's gonna have to stock up on KY. I'm assuming. I would assume
Yeah.
it's like having sex with a sex doll.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
That's
Well,
my
there's
thought.
Have you ever heard of a movie called Cashback?
No.
Basically, this young guy who works at a grocer in Britain. I don't know if he imagines or he has the ability to freeze time, and he just paints nude women. And I'm like, that's a little rapey. He's just taking off their clothes and painting them on a piece of paper. It's really weird, but it's the same thing. It's like
I think I have seen that. That seems really.
you probably have. You probably
Like
have it in
90s?
your Plex. You just don't know it.
90s, maybe early 2000s. Is that when it came out?
Yeah, 2004
Okay.
or no, 2006.
Yeah, he's like my
But-
grocery. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen that. I don't remember anything about it
Um,
except for that right there. But anyway, of course, I remember the naked people being painted and raped.
But
Of
was
course
it
you do.
Picasso?
Picasso. Maybe he paint with his prick.
Exactly.
You don't know. You have to go and watch.
There we go. There's someone out there who is really big into Twilight Zone listening or watching this right now, and they're like, "This is disgraceful."
Oh, yeah.
Jacob, I said it last week. We're 120 episodes in or 10 episodes in.
Yeah,
They've
you know
already
what
said
you're
that by now.
Maybe this is
Yeah.
the first episode they tuned into.
Oh, you're like, oh my
Don't
god,
worry.
these guys they're reviewing a kind of stopwatch. Oh my god, it's my favorite episode ever.
And
What the fuck are they talking about?
I'll just let you know, first time listener, that I promise, like, if you listen to our other episodes, they're exactly the same.
If you can get past this part, we do actually
Yeah.
have some interesting points.
Matt,
But
yeah,
You have to take the good and the bad.
So, depending on who you ask, but we think so.
Okay,
Anyway,
we're like Led Zeppelin. We ramble on, sing that song.
We're tangenty.
We are. That's what makes us what we are, and I'm
Yes.
proud of it. See, if you really want to listen to wholesome, clean podcasts, listen to like the first 12 episodes. Until I said, screw it, we're gonna
listen
be
to the
all
ones
coarse.
before I came on.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted
We're
to
not-
go outside the box, but you were all like, "No, we got to keep it clean and shit."
Well, you know,
And I came
I didn't
in
know.
and we went
I didn't know I
inside
could
the box.
curse.
Oh
Trip,
my
I was a
God.
virgin.
Touched
You
for the
made me
very
not a
first time?
virgin. Yeah.
Virgin.
Okay.
In the course of
some kind of
vulgar language.
stopwatch.
Time.
No, kind of stopwatch is once again, it's one of those episodes that airs like in the middle of a marathon. It's not very not. I mean, Trev, you like this episode like One for the Angels, but
Well,
would you call this
I don't. This isn't on the same
well,
level.
no.
by
What I'm
stretch
saying,
as One of
like,
the Angels, but
would you call this episode memorable outside of the ending? Like, is there anything about this episode that screams, oh my god, this is like the greatest Twilight Zone episode ever? You know,
no,
that type of
but
thing.
that there are some that I remember, and I remember a good chunk of this. I mean, it's not like just weird ones stick with you. I mean, what is it? God, the Magic and Frisbee. That one. It's not a great or bad episode, but it always sticks with me. I can't tell you why. It just does. I mean, there are bits to this because it's funny in its own way. It kind of sticks with me, I guess, because of that. Kind of like how the space episodes stick with Jake.
I like space.
Yeah. My name is Space. My
Space
name is
Pants.
Jeff. But yeah, I mean, Patrick McNulty, one of the most ignorant, I should say ignorant, because he comes. I actually had to bring. I have to bring this up because I thought it was very, very funny. So McNulty's a very annoying individual, like as
What was your
annoying as
first
it gets.
clue?
The fact that he calls himself in the third person.
Oh, all the time.
Um,
That's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. When somebody's talking to themselves in the third person, they're that kind of person that you're at a bar, as we see in this, or you're at a dinner party and he doesn't shut the fuck up, and you're like, I want to leave right now. But no, the thing that I thought was kind of funny, and this is not something they knew was going to happen, but he pitches the hot dog the guy says something about the boss says something about hot dog being flattened into a hamburger shape. And what's funny about that is they actually have that now. You can actually buy a hot dog flattened into a hamburger. Like, actually, they flatten the hot dog into it. Like, it's legit. Like,
Oh my
Called
god.
spam.
Yeah, exactly.
no, well, that too, but no, this is like legit. Like, somebody decided they're going to fucking smash burger a hot dog into a hamburger shape, and you eat it like that.
Well, there you go.
I mean, I've made a sandwich with a hot dog before, like cut it in half and have strips.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, but yeah, people. I
the
was
same as a
heard this
patty.
on a podcast.
You know what he came off to me as? Those YouTubers that are like all motivational, like, you must diversify, and man, there's a million ideas out there, and one of them is gonna get me laid. That's like, he's such a motivational bro, or like a LinkedIn, like, oh yeah, I work 18,000 hours a day, man. I'm in it for the grind. Like, that's the kind of guy that he whatever.
I'm in it for the Pentiums.
Yeah, exactly. And also,
no, you're
I
right.
love that
You're
The
right.
Office is like the most generic like office.
Well, even the
world.
bar's generic. Everything about this episode's generic. Like the bar, the bank, the office, the woman. Very generic. Very, oh, leave me alone. You're bothering me. And then like the boss.
But I like the fact that she didn't take shit from him.
Yeah, she said, "I'm not, you're not," and none of that's
We're
happened.
not.
Whatever she
Yeah.
said.
I'm gonna
It
call
was-
the police.
There was some clever writing in this.
I liked her response to him. I thought
Yeah.
that was good.
I like that, when he gets the stopwatch, he just like moves a couple inches to the right, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, he moved!" oh my god, where'd that come from?
That
type of
is one
thing.
thing about Twilight Zone episodes, and I'm sure it's a combination of A, budget, and B, you get these people that, like get these big powers and they don't know what to do with them. But like he gets this thing that stops time. And the first thing he can think to do to prove it is to go ruffle the one dude's hair and
Yeah.
like drink out of other people's glasses.
And he expects them to see it that way. It's like, oh, you drank it. And then he's like, didn't you see me doing it? I was like, dude, I feel like, because that was almost at the end of the episode. And I was like, he's just now realizing that people can't see what he's doing because time has stopped.
Well,
Right.
Jacob, the funny part is like they're drunks. Like they're not gonna remember the fact they drink their beer, their 10-cent beer or
They
whatever.
never drank anything because he was so damn annoying. They all had to leave the bar
That's
before
true.
they could have a proper drink.
Well, that's what I was telling you, Triv. I'm like, why is this bartender so mad because he's ordering beer? It's because the guy's fucking annoying. He's like, why won't you get out of my fucking bar? So that's why he's like, get your beer
Yeah.
and get out of here.
Exactly. That's what I said.
But the best part, the man can watch stock footage. That's all
Oh
you
my
need.
God. That was like, this could have been a 15-minute episode, and it felt like an Ed Wood movie. It's like, oh my God, there's, all
Hey,
these stock footage shots and shit.
It could have been like, my biggest problem with this episode is that it's just kind of really slow until, like Nick said, till the end. Like, that's when he actually goes to do something that a regular person would do. I don't care. We're not talking morals here, but like when he actually goes to do something of some type of substance, why didn't they should have had him do like one or two other things that were more interesting besides going and, like Triv said, messing up people's hair and putting whatever it was he put on his boss's head and stuff like that. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Come on.
Yeah, pull down his pants or something like that. Do something. Just god damn. Yeah, I don't know. In the end, I think this is gonna be one of our shorter episodes of the podcast because there really isn't much to talk about. It's like the same problem that I have with a lot of episodes. It's like rinse and repeat because he's just a very boring and like annoying character who said like he pitches all this nonsense to people. Like what was it? The hot dog, like a hot dog bun and what else did he pitch?
cans being
Yeah,
square,
So they
so
could
they'll
fit
fit in a
something about-
garbage can.
Yeah, like a pontoon. It was like a pontoon, I'm assuming, like a military pontoon or something like that.
Well, basically, they wanted the pontoons to be attached to each soldier, so if they went into the water, they could just float across themselves as compared to having to make a bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question about that. Is a pontoon like a form of floating device? Is that
Basically,
what
so,
pontoon
yeah.
means?
Yeah, so like when you
You
have
know
a
the
pontoon,
thing like that they run with in Baywatch, the red thing?
Oh, yeah.
That's a pontoon.
I don't know if that's why I was paying attention to Baywatch, but
100. If you were attracted to the lady pontoons.
Yeah.
Right,
They
right.
They had three. They had the one in their hand, and then they had the two you were watching.
Yeah.
see, Triv, the greatest part about that show is there was something for men and
Chest
women.
tunes.
Yeah, chest
Sure.
tunes and lower tunes.
Yeah, because
Um,
that's definitely some. Yeah. The one thing that he said a lot of that, how those people that are annoying, they always have those phrases, and he had, you think about that now, blah 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 blah, and that was what the thing he always came back to when he was trying to convince people to do what he wanted.
Yeah, he was annoying. They said he in the opening narration, which we should probably get to. He says, I think it refers to him as a bore, and maybe back then a bore meant like you're annoying. But I thought, no, he's not boring. He's fucking annoying.
He's
maybe,
boring.
yeah,
Benoring.
Benoring. That's the new word of the year, Benoring.
Absolutely.
Triv, you're not Benoring.
Oh, yay. Also, did you guys
Um,
notice the ash on Rod's cigarette was just like stupid long?
They didn't.
I was sitting there looking at it,
They-
it's like, oh god, it's gonna fall off. Ah!
He's trying to do that thing
So-
that every smoker has done at least once, probably more. How long can you get the ash before it falls? I just do all the time. He's sitting there just like,
Nice.
fuck.
Yeah, there is
I mean-
one thing that he was right, or yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No, I don't remember what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Talking of his suggestions, and I apologize, I missed this note when we were talking about it before, but he was right about soccer. He talks about like when they're watching the game in the first like bar scene. He's talking about he's like, oh, it's gonna be the next great thing, fastest sport on earth, blah blah blah. It's gonna be huge, and that's really become huge.
Yeah, but in the 60s, you didn't talk shit about baseball in America. America. Fuck
What
yeah.
is what? This is like the second episode of like the Twilight Zone in the last few weeks that's been talking about just nonstop baseball. I mean, I like baseball and all, but I'm like,
It was really big
w-
back then.
Oh, huge,
Was
yeah.
it?
It
Oh,
was the
massive.
sport. It was football. I mean, I don't even think football, like our football, American football. I'm sure it was a thing, but not like it is now.
Yeah.
They're still
I
wearing
guess
those
you had,
funny
like-
hats and sweaters.
right? And like the knickerbockers and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
All right, everybody insists upon the opening narration because nobody wants to wait for the opening narration. Jacob, do the opening narration.
Well, we
you
probably
son of a
need to do the
bitch.
opening narration before we get to the closing narration.
Yeah.
I was just going to do the closing narration first and then the opening narration just to see what people say.
Well,
Can we
then
just do
you'd
both
have
of
to
them
have
back to
this.
back?
Yeah, there you go.
No, okay. No. If you want to, it's a really long sentence.
Submitted for your approval, or at least your analysis. 1. Patrick Thomas McNulty, who at age 41 is the biggest bore on earth. He holds a 10-year record for the most meaningless words spewed out during a coffee break. And it's very likely that, as of this moment, he would have gone through life in precisely this manner. A dull, argumentative big mouth who sets back the art of conversation 1,000 years. I say he very likely would have except for something that will soon happen to him, something that will considerably alter his existence and ours. Now, you think about that now, because this is the Twilight Zone. Mr. Patrick Thomas McNulty, who had a gift of time. I was going to do this. Yeah, I like the wordplay he did here. I did like that. Like how he said sets back the art of conversation 1,000 years. I like that. That was a decent opening narration. It
Oh,
wasn't
absolutely.
great. It was decent. We haven't had like those really good opening narrations in a while. They've been kind of meh.
Well, and I think too, I mean, season 5 is season 5, even if we've got, good episodes and not so great episodes.
It was submitted for your approval. That's all that matters.
That it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I still
Okay,
find
so-
odd, since that's really only a season 5 thing. And I don't even think it's every episode of season 5.
There's only
but-
3 episodes that feature that.
Yeah, and that's such a it's like ingrained in, Twilight Zone pop culture, but it was only in 3 episodes. Like you can find submitted for your approval things with like Rod Serling sitting there like, and it says submitted for your approval. I think I even put that in a video once. So it's like just so I think when you've seen like people, probably The Simpsons, when they're like parodying it and stuff like that, I guarantee he'll say submitted for your approval.
Probably. I
Well,
mean,
we've had the discussion, but I'm sure it's kind of like how, in Casablanca, it's never said play it again, Sam, or in Star Wars, Luke, I am your father. It's that variation, it's that assumption that people kind of say, oh, well, it's in this one, that it means it must be in all.
The Mandela
Well,
effect, man.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, like when like the different like products that you eat and stuff like that, you think it's one thing, but it's really another. Looney Tunes is a perfect example. It's what TUNEES,
Yeah, it's
not
like a,
TO.
it's like
Like a tune,
a
not
singing, like a song,
Not a cartoon,
silly-
but
Yeah,
a tune.
I mean, they were called Silly Symphonies, so for a
Merry
while,
Melodies.
but Merry
Melodies.
Silly Symphonies.
Merry
I, was
No.
gonna say, I don't know what Silly Symphonies is, but Mary
There's an animated series. I think that's Disney. I think Disney did Silly Symphonies actually.
I was gonna say because
Flowers and
Warner
trees.
Brothers was always Merry Melodies.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys. This is in the trivia on IMDb. Is the idea of says an early draft of the script is featured an alternate closing shot. One of the frozen people whom McNulty runs past turns to face the camera after McNulty vanishes around the corner. It's Potts who smiles and winks at us. So would the episode have been better if like he was stuck in this world and he has like one person to help him? And I would that have been a better episode than what we got? Would it have been much more interesting?
Is that ending trying to say that everybody was in on it and they just want him to shut the hell up and leave, so they're acting like they're frozen?
Yeah, it's like this generation's version of like the Truman Show. They're all in on it.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that would probably suit the tone of the episode more
Yeah.
than what we got.
I mean, it would have
I
made more
still-
sense. Go ahead.
Oh, I still
sorry.
can't get over that it was a real quick shot, but they had his boss and the secretary getting it
Yeah.
on. That was hilarious.
How did he
Right.
break the watch? I don't remember him dropping
dropped
it or
it.
anything.
He dropped
It probably
it.
dropped out
obviously
of
it
his
was on-
pocket
He
or something.
He had all
But
the
did we
money.
see him drop it? like
we
I just
did.
saw him walking out and he went, "Oh." I was like, "When did he drop that?" I didn't rewind it either, but
He was carry or like he had the cart of money and he was like grabbing a bunch of change and stuff, and then he pulls the cart forward as he's got the watch in his hand and he drops it.
oh, okay. I missed the
See,
part where he dropped it.
he learned the hard lesson of never smoking cigars. Sorry, Jacob, never smoking cigars. So
I'm not a
he's
fan of
like, I'm
cigars.
gonna get this cigar, and he's like, nope. The watch is like, nope. All you needed was the money, but now you're stuck here.
Being greedy.
Yeah.
Yep. You go play as.
I mean, and
you know.
truly, that was the thing. He got greedy and kind of screwed himself.
It was a big non-smoking PSA.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Rod smoking a cigarette. He's going, here's a non-smoking PSA. Never smoke cigarettes, people.
That's right. Ugh.
But as he as he awaits his cigarette, I don't know. Like the episode attempts to add humor, attempts to be funny. It has one of the most. I always say this. I think the '60s, especially when it came to scores, were super annoying. Like I think Van Cleve is the one who did the music for this score, and I just think this music is just out of place with the episode. Really annoying. It's like that rat race music, and I felt like that was the like one of the worst parts about this episode was just the music. I don't know.
The music did not bother me nor stand out, quite honestly, for me personally.
That's kind of like everything else about this episode. It was quite, generally speaking, middle. Like I thought there were some cute bits. But by and large, it was very much a middle of the road episode.
Van Cleve used the theremin in the episode.
Yay! I love thermins.
Did you guys? Well, you guys remember this episode. I didn't remember it, but I will say that the end. That's not where I thought it was going.
Really?
I thought no. I did not think it was gonna. He was gonna break the watch and be stuck. I thought he was gonna be something more along the lines of like a click, where he's gonna get like click happy with it, and end up being like 80 years old, but only advanced like 1 year or something like that because he keeps stopping time, but he's aging or something like that. Which is still a morality tale unto itself, but no, he got stuck in time. I guess I didn't think that because that's kind of depressing and dark, and the episode was very lighthearted, and then it gets to that, and I'm like, man, maybe that's me. And I'm not taking it at just face value and like kind of like laughing at the haha like ironic or irony of it, and just looking too much into it and being like, oh, that would suck so bad.
Well, I mean, look at Click. Click was the same thing with Click, very, very funny, and then the ending is super dark for no reason. Hey, let's have a heart attack and die, and your kids like disown you. You're what's that?
They copped out on Click because they brought it back.
Well, yeah, true.
I don't remember how
they brought him back to the beginning.
Yeah, he went back to the beyond part.
It was all a dream.
Yeah, it's all. That's what happens when you have Christopher Walken. He can take things back. I'm taking it back.
Taking it back. Giving you more.
But no. But no. I don't know. Do you think the guy deserved to have the watch drop and break? You think he became that kind? Like it would seem like a character like in Escape Plan. He deserved what he got, but do you think he deserved what he got here?
No, he was just annoying.
Well, neither did Time Enough at Last guy really didn't deserve what he got, but it just happened to be a thing that happened.
Life sucks. What about we didn't really talk about it. What about the guy who gave him the watch? Who was he supposed to be? I mean, beyond.
And why did he give it to him?
Or something?
Yeah,
like it doesn't.
I just feel like
he was just slurring through everything. You could barely understand it. I felt like I was watching Joe Biden.
Well, do you think it was like an It's Follow situation? Like he finally repaired the watch.
Or like
he had been stuck in that.
I don't know.
But the thing is, there was no consequences outside of obviously dropping it and freezing time. There wasn't any real consequences that we saw to the watch. I don't even 100% know why he handed it up. He's like, oh, here. Yeah, it's not like they had any meaningful conversation. Well, yeah, great. You have a 15-cent beer. Whoop-de-fucking do.
Now you can stop time, be the master of time and space. Yeah, I didn't. Why did this man give him the watch? I don't understand. Or was he supposed to be
Jacob,
something more? Was he like the devil?
Jacob, I got the perfect thing. See, there can only be one, and he was dying, so he gave the watch to another person. It became the Time Prince of the universe.
Like a time Clockstoppers Highlander kind of situation.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Here we are, born to be kings.
No, to be fair, like that's why I brought up that whole alternate ending that they had in the early draft. I think that would have, I think the fact that Potts disappears really kind of hampers the story down, because if you have that segment in there, it shows that maybe Potts is like a alternate, or like a being of some sort
Right.
that's not really human, kind of like the guy in the bar in one of your favorite episodes, Trib, the real Martian, please stand up. It's just like
It would have. I
what's
think that would
Potts?
have fit
Yeah,
in line better with this episode.
Yeah.
yeah.
I do think that, and I could be wrong, but at the end when everybody is frozen, and this could relate back to the original or the alternative ending where he's not really frozen, but I think he was sitting there facing away or facing the door. I think he was in that shot.
Well,
Oh, so like he was just a barfly that just happened to have a watch that.
Possibly. I'm not sure though. That's kind of like, if you look at the end, and I like the guy has the same kind of hair. He's kind of the same height and build. Like he's
Who is
kind of got
it?
that lanky. The
I thought it was
Potts
just
guy?
I thought it was just a random person. You said so. It was
No,
who's Potts?
no. Potts is the guy that gave him the watch.
Oh, so that guy was the. Oh, I didn't really. Okay.
Yeah, he called him bots. Like I think
Oh, that's
McNulty called him bots. He's like, no, it's Potts.
I think he was at the end too, like frozen, but he was facing away from the bar. He was kind of facing the door.
that would have opened up a lot of conversation pieces for sure. But I think that would have been, if it had done that and then had like a womp 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 or something like that. That would have stayed in line with its more jovial tone, and it wouldn't have been quite as depressing.
But also, like, I don't know, and maybe I'm overthinking because I have a tendency to do that. But okay, McNulty is an annoying character. He talks all the time. He doesn't have a shut off switch. It doesn't, like, nothing. Oftentimes with the Twilight Zone, it seems like the situations people are put into are reflective of the things that they get handed. And I don't really, like, you could say, yeah, he talks a mile a minute. He was looking for the next big thing, but there's no real connection between the watch and him.
No.
He's just a random guy getting this random thing, and he happens to be an annoying piece of shit. Or annoying pain in the ass, not a piece of shit.
And we have no
much.
idea why
So-
he got it.
Right.
I think the Potts being at the end and doing that would have done it, like Nick said, it would have alluded to the fact that he was something more than just a human.
Right.
And it would have kind of, okay, that's why he did it for this to happen. Or we don't know exactly why, but we understand he had some type of motivation. At this point, I'm like, what was his motivation to give him this magical watch? Why would you ever do that?
I
Yeah,
agree.
he just drank too much 15-cent beer at this point. Here's an interesting fact about John Rich, who directed the episode that I was looking up as you guys were talking. He is only directed 2 episodes of the Twilight Zone, but the other episode happens to be another device that creates crazy scenarios, and that of course is
Camera?
the camera. Yeah, most unusual camera.
Ah.
Really?
Well, at one point
Yeah.
he
He does
calls
say
the
some
watch.
yeah.
He calls the watch a most unusual watch, and I was
did.
kind of
Yeah.
thinking about that at the time.
Yeah, I thought
Right,
that too.
and
I was
the-
like, that's neat. I'm going to mention that because Trivia was that episode and I forgot.
Well, what's great is like both episodes deal with like people obsessed with money at the end and get their comeuppance. It's like John Rich is going, "Fuck you guys, fuck your money. That's not what's
I don't
important in
think
life."
He was obsessed with money.
No.
Though. He was obsessed.
No, but I'm
with
just saying,
being
like-
noticed.
Yeah.
And money.
Well,
was
no, but
money.
it's like the whole idea that he goes to the baseball game, moves the base like 10 feet or whatever. It's that whole scenario when they go to the race. They
Why couldn't we see
take
that?
pictures.
I
I
agree.
mean,
When
it was
you-
done kind of corny wise. I would have rather seen that than his shenanigans in the office or at the.
The thing is-
bar.
Because you need stock footage scenes.
Well, no, you could have done the stock footage with that. You could have had like a big stadium.
I know.
It's not like they haven't done that, and then you see a close up of him like moving the base, and then
I mean, it
you
would have
know.
been corny. We would have been like, haha, that obviously.
yeah, but that
fits,
happens
but
a
it
lot.
would have-
That was
exactly,
a
it
common
fit.
thing with the Twilight Zone, though.
Yeah, it would have fit. We would have understood why. I would have rather seen that. That would have been more interesting rather than hearing him tell it.
Agreed.
To be fair, he directed the funniest series of all time, All in the Family, 81 episodes.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, he probably directed the one. Wasn't there an episode about racism, or is it all racism? Wasn't
every
Archie Bunker
episode?
racist,
I mean,
or was he like what? I mean, I'm
He
not
had
saying like he's a
tendencies.
bad character. Yeah, like the one with what was the one that got a spinoff from All in the Family? What was the guy's
Oh.
name?
the sun, or-
Jeffersons.
Oh yeah. Na na na
yeah,
na.
the Jeffersons, not the sun. Move it on
But
up, move it on up to the east side.
yeah, Jefferson's so good. But he actually directed the pilot for All in the Family. So, anyways, Twilight Zone. We're on Twilight Zone. John Rich Twilight Zone.
We're gonna be
Yeah, I don't know.
like Sanford and Son podcast.
Yes.
after Twilight Zone.
Hey, we're getting there. Dude, I'm not even joking. Triv, how long has it been since you watched the Tales from the Crypt?
So good.
It's been a
last
while.
year? Yeah, like
Oh, last year.
Yeah.
Can someone tell me how the Twilight Zone can be like this very progressive, very insane show and have some really terrible episodes, but the Twilight Zone seems to have like all great episodes?
You mean
Like
Tales
the
from
first
Crypt?
season.
You mean you said, but Twilight Zone has all these great episodes. You mean
Oh yeah, you know, yeah, you know what I mean. Tales from the Crypt has like outside of the Leah Thompson episode in the first season, they're all like bangers. And the Twilight Zone, is it because the Twilight Zone has more episodes?
Does
Is that
it?
why?
Or yeah,
Or it has more per season than
tell you.
it was just weird because I'm like
Everything-
watching like
Twilight Zone has more episodes per season than everything.
that's true.
When I saw that, like when we started this and it had like 36 episodes a season, I was like, Jesus, what is going on here?
I mean, we still have 31
Tales from the
episodes left to
Crypt
go.
Has 93 episodes over 7
Oh,
seasons.
okay.
Well, it looks like each season has about 6, 18, 14, 14, 13, 15, 13. So something
Either
like
way,
that.
we're gonna review Tales from the Crypt one of these days because we need to talk about this series because it is fucking amazing. It is incredible. I love how John Caser's Cassar or whatever Crypt Keeper changes his voice changes as he goes along.
Yeah, it wasn't until like
Good
season
lord.
2 that he really got that traditional Crypt Keeper we're used to.
Yeah. Sorry, Trev. I didn't mean to go on a Tales from the Crypt tangent.
That's all
I'm
right.
sorry. Kind of stopwatch. Trev, keep us on track. You're getting us off track. Kind of stopwatch.
It's a thing that keeps track of time, but not normal
Here's the
time.
Stopwatch.
Yeah. The watch
But-
that stops.
The house? Oh yeah, time.
Stops watching The House.
Yeah.
But no, I mean that's the problem with this episode is there's not a lot to talk about. Like he goes to the same places over and over. He annoys the same people over and over. I think it's hilarious that one guy like he annoys the guy right outside the bar and says like, "Hey, you know what this place needs? It needs swinging doors." And then everybody else is like, "Get the fuck out of here." He's like, "I'm not leaving." And they're like, "All right, we're all leaving." And the bartender's like, "Get the fuck out." He's like, "I want a beer." He's like, "Get the fuck out and drink your beer." It's like that. It repeats that. It's the same thing in like when he goes back to the office after he's been fired. It's the same shit. It's like the annoyed secretary, and it's like the annoyed, angry boss who's like, "You're not supposed to be here," and he's like, "Oh, I have a watch now," and he just
It's
does the same thing over and
same
over.
scene, just a different location.
Same
and-
shit, different day.
Basically, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This episode could have been fun. They could have fun with that. And even the baseball thing, that was, I mean, was it groundbreaking? No. But I would have rather seen that than one of those scenes. And then just pick one more thing like that he did. And you just see him messing around in the world, but like doing something other than, oh, messing up this guy's hair. And
But that's kind of, again, that's kind of what Twilight Zone does. I mean, look at Mr. Dingle the Strong. Guy gets a massive amount of strength and does not a whole lot with it. You know, the guy that all like any of them. There's so many where they get these weird talents. And I suppose it's a matter of like you get small people and they think small things more than anything else. Or the genie wishes. You know, it's not nothing really. They're small. And again, I think budget has a lot to do with it. But everything is.
Yo, you can tell
potatoes.
this is very hampered. Yeah, it was very hampered by budget. You could tell that this episode had no budget.
Not even a question.
Like they're freeze framing you can tell. That's the funny part. Like if when Jacob,
Like
I think
stock
Jacob,
footage alone on this one.
yeah, they just like, hey, what do we have in the vault? But I think what Jacob was alluding to that actually would have worked pretty well. How everybody was ignoring him because the way Twilight Zone and most TV shows have had to do it before the invention of like Adobe Premiere and shit is they had to just stop in place. So I'm pretty sure if you look closely, you can tell they're moving. So the idea of like if they're all just ignoring him, like until he like jumps off a cliff, Looney Tunes style, I think would have been interesting. Like they just because like president,
we would
like,
have
we're
questions,
not
but still, that would have been funnier or more in line with the episode than.
Yeah.
It would have been
Would
a
have been
cheeky
nice.
ending.
Yeah, to go with
Right.
the episode. Exactly. I think. And I just think that they should have. And even if he did go back to the bar or the work, do something else. Even if he is just fucking with people, more than what he did. What he did was just stupid. It just wasn't. It wasn't. Not even like that. Mr. Dingle is Strong had some like dumb shit he was doing, but I was like, I mean, it's framed well.
You just like the two-headed alien.
The dildo alien.
Yes, the dildo alien.
Yeah,
The
of course.
titty alien. Yeah.
But like, I mean, what he was doing was just that middle portion of the episode was just it drug on. It felt longer than 24 minutes. It was an hour.
24 minutes. I don't know. I didn't think the episode felt long. I just think it was just
Not
very
long,
basic.
not long
It was a basic bitch of an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, I think it
That-
would probably like I didn't think it dragged. I thought it moved at a decent pace, but I do think that there's a lot of wasted time. Like we get the idea, like with all the stock footage in the middle, there was, you could have had a couple things to get the idea. I don't think you needed that much to get the point across.
Well, like
And
you
I-
said
Well-
earlier, it seemed like they could have done this episode. No, we've made a bunch of examples. I think the episode could have definitely filled the time. But with what they did do, you could have done this episode in 15 minutes.
Oh, 100%.
Less.
My biggest problem with this episode, and again, maybe it's just a me thing, but yes, he was annoying and, kind of a pain in the ass, but like there was nothing that connected who the person that he was with the stopwatch.
No.
It's not like he had like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I mean, like the braggadocious nature of him didn't relate to this watch at all.
Yeah, it just felt like they were trying to have an episode where they punish a guy who's just annoying. Like we all
Right.
know annoying people, but I don't want them to punish them by having them live in a frozen hell or something like that. But
Yeah.
actually, I do have a question for you, Triv.
Yeah.
This is not a knock against you. I just am curious. Yeah, maybe you feel like a knock against you. I don't know.
Oh my god, it's such a
definitely-
knock against me. What the
definitely
hell?
Triv, you're into house, so you gotta listen. Listen
Damn
into
it.
house.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. No,
Yeah.
in all honesty, like
Yeah.
you lean towards camp when you watch a lot of movies. Like you like that very
Oh,
cheeky,
100%.
cheesy.
Yeah.
Do you
No.
think that's why you like this episode more?
I think it helps.
but Jacob, I'm like,
No, I
you know
think
what
that
I mean.
no, absolutely. I think that I'm of the three of us.
This is
I'm the
very
one.
cheeky.
It's very
very
cheeky,
campy,
and
yeah.
there are good moments. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like the whole the fact like the set of lines where Cooper the boss is like, oh, we don't work with the U.S. government. We don't work with food. We don't work with this. We produce ladies foundational garments. Like I busted a gut at that. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
or
just
like
so
when he was like in that same scene, he's like, "You're finally recognizing me, or you're finally taking it." He's like, "Yes, I have. You're fired."
right. There was a lot of like the writing was solid for a lot
Yeah.
of it, and like the character himself is just he's so over the top. I think that there's a lot that could have been done with that. Now, was it done well? No, it absolutely wasn't, and there is such a fine line between something like this and something like A Most Unusual Camera. Because Most Unusual Camera was one where like it walked that line where too much one way, and it would have ended up like this.
Well, the question I have though is, Triv, do you think if you left the bar and you said goodbye, beer tender, would you be much more popular?
I think I would. I think that they would be all up in my shit. They would really like me.
Right? They'd be like, that Triv, she can really tender beers.
Really,
Absolutely. I
Tell
do have a
me.
question for you guys, and this is a little bit more not serious side, but every time he clicks to stop time, do you think that the people that are like so basically everything around the world, every time he clicks that, everything stopped. Like everything. Not just
Yeah.
the goldfish, not just the stuff in his room. Like, do you think people over the course of time started to recognize that there was something wrong?
no,
like
because
that
everything
feeling
stops.
of
I don't think they're
paranoia or
aging or
anything?
anything. I
Yeah,
think it's just
fair.
like it doesn't stop.
Well,
It just keeps going, so they don't even notice to stop. Unless they're within his vicinity and he's like bouncing around like he's freaking Nightcrawler.
Like this, yeah.
well, the question I have is, do you think it's like people are after Earth or something like that, where it's like grass starts growing, or do you think grass stopped? Like, is everything stopped?
Everything stops.
I would
Nick.
assume, but how would you
So
even
he's
be
try-
able to like? And I know this gets beyond the point, but would he be able to breathe past a certain point? Because everything would stop doing what it does naturally.
Triv, you're
sun
giving me
stopped
anxiety
shining.
now.
Good.
That's no, I'm kidding. No, yeah, that actually does give me a little bit of anxiety because, like, the idea of like what actually stops in like this air stop? Does carbon monoxide stop? Does like
It
is he
just
gonna
stops
pop?
moving. It stops moving forward in time. I think it still exists. It's there, but everything
Well,
stops. I
like
guess you could still
Well,
breathe it since
everything
it's there.
stops though, so in theory you shouldn't be able to breathe because those air molecules, once they leave you, like how do you pull in new ones?
You
damn it, damn it,
there's a lot of it. There's a
1960s.
lot of them.
Damn it, Rod Serling, 1960s. You got to think about this kind of stuff.
As long as he
We're in
doesn't
24.
like stop. I get maybe like when he comes in contact with it, it starts going again.
Possibly.
But then
Like
why
if he
would
touches someone.
But if he did touch people and they didn't, I
No.
don't know.
Why didn't he like bring that secretary into his world? Like, how most of these, stopwatch or stop thing shows or movies or whatever, like clock stoppers, they touch someone and the person that they're touching doesn't freeze. Like, or like, but would that bring up the whole passenger situation where they're like the only two people alive and they have to repopulate the earth because nobody's moving
That would
or
have
some shit?
actually been pretty funny because the one secretary was talking about how, if you were the last person on Earth, I would consider possibly going out on a date with you. That does kind of happen. Like that would have been a funny thing to bring it back
Last person
around
on
to.
Earth, and her life depended on it.
Right.
See, this man doesn't think.
No, he
We're
doesn't.
already finding flaws, Rod. I know you've been dead for 60 years, but come on, we're finding flaws in your work.
I think he's been dead for
No, we love
Well,
you.
And he
For 50
talks about,
years.
he talks about the whole, oh, I guess you couldn't see what I did with the bartender. I assumed that he was like, I forgot that part, but I thought, oh, is he going to take the bartender like on a thing with him? But
He's gonna take him on a sexy tour.
he's going to take him
What
on a
if
magic
two
carpet
people
ride.
hit the button at the same exact time, and they're holding the stopwatch? Are they both part of it then?
I would assume so.
Well, yeah, it's like I said, clock stoppers just kind of well, but the real question, Jacob, is do two objects occupy the same space cause a weird glob of individual that turns into a nothingness?
Of course it does.
Yes.
Time Cop said so.
Give me like the Vollmer twins. What were we talking about?
Time Cop.
Some kind
Time
of
cop.
stopwatch.
So yeah, so this man has sex with Mia Sarah, then gets killed by a future Ron Silver, and
Like Looper.
lives in Washington D.C. Yeah, like Looper, exactly. Yeah, like Looper. No, but like I said, once he gets the stopwatch, once he figures out what the stopwatch does, he gets greedy and he's like talking to the bartender. He's like, "Oh, well, what if I could do this? And what if I could do that?" And then he comes up with the idea of, "Hey, what if I had money? Lots and lots of money. You can steal money and become rich, like
Money.
cash, lettuce, and old Kalamazoo." That's where he goes to the bank and he fucks himself over because you just can't have all the money in the world unless you're Christopher Plummer.
Or Kevin Spacey.
Guys, oh my God. So this is really weird. My internet connection kind of went out and all of a sudden you were frozen. And
Did you click a stopwatch?
no, apparently I did because you guys weren't moving. And all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, what happened? Because everything on my side was working. And then my internet connection comes on and says, oh, your internet connection is unstable.
Quite topical.
Is Nick still frozen?
I think so.
Or is he being a jackass?
No, he's being a jackass. I seen the movie.
No, that was so weird,
I can
though.
only hold my breath so long. That's pretty funny.
There was probably like a 15-20 second gap where all of a sudden it's like nobody was moving. It's like, what? Oh shit. It's
Was I doing this?
breathing. Oh God. No, you
Was Jacob
both had
doing this?
neutral. No, you both had neutral expressions.
Damn it! I want to do something funny. Triv, you gotta let me know when you freeze so I can do something
Dude,
funny.
I tried. I was like, guys, what the fuck? Like, look at the chat.
See, Triv, you
Something just popped
gotta
up in
have clairvoyance. You gotta let us know when you're free so we can make weird
Oh,
faces.
100%. Yeah, I do that.
Did I freeze or did you?
Yeah, because it popped up when you started talking. Like, what do you
Yeah.
mean? Or did you? Did I eat something? Did I
Yes, you
like,
did.
jump up and down?
Yes, you did.
Did I get you flowers for your
No.
date for James Corden? Like, what? I don't know what's going on. So,
Him and you are gonna
Yes.
get drowned in cream cheese.
I mean, that would be a
Cream
happy
cheese.
time for you, cream cheese. Or
No,
something
no,
like
no, no, no. That's all you, man.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
You seem
Anyways,
to enjoy James Corden more than I do.
that's not true.
Yeah,
Sure,
I
you
think
know it's
so.
not true.
No, I do think it's true.
I mean, look, we all kind of discussed like, yes, he tries to rob a bank. It doesn't go very well. He gets stuck in time. Now money's useless.
Well, it would have been successful had it not been a Butterfingers.
Yeah,
Oh, these Butterfingers. But would money be the first thing you get if you had a stopwatch?
Well, it's not the
Like,
first thing though. It's like the 15th thing that he gets.
yeah.
well,
he
what would be the
just is
first
an
thing you
asshole
do
for
though?
him. He's just annoying. Well, I guess that being annoying that fits in with his character because what he does is just annoying shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, yeah, if you had if you could be invisible, you know, we'd all go into like the bathroom of the opposite sex and just stare at people.
No, I would hop a plane to the UK or Ireland or something.
If you're invisible, that's
Yes.
boring, Trev. You gotta go stare at people.
No,
Showers.
why do I have to
You gotta
do
be
that?
like-
Because that's your dream. You just want to go see James Corden naked? Okay, cool, good for you. Enjoy your time.
We all want to be like Kevin Bacon and
no,
you know,
I don't need to
go
be
around
like Kevin
naked.
Bacon.
walk around naked. You know,
With his bacon
Enjoy.
bits hanging out.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure he's got
Oh,
more
God.
than just bacon bits.
How would you know,
Watch
Trev?
that movie, you'll know.
Yeah, exactly.
See, Trev would do that for James Corden. So
No, I wouldn't. No.
anyways, but that's pretty much the episode. He like freaks out and runs around. Like, can you see me? Can you like, dude? You walked into like 8 different buildings, and of course they cannot see you, and clearly no one's moving. And first you have to learn how to like become a watchmaker and learn how to fix watches. And you know, like in the Treehouse of Horror episode of The Simpsons, they actually recreate the watch and fix it, but they're all old and shit. Like, what would be worse, losing your glasses or having time freeze? Because if you have time freeze, at least food won't get spoiled.
Well, losing your glasses, it's not from one that wears a pretty heavy subscription glasses. Like you can hold a book closer to your face. You may not be able to
Well, I
function
mean,
like hunting and
yeah.
shit, but
I feel like he could find another pair of glasses somewhere that'll get the job done.
also true.
I mean,
But
cars
if
are
the world's been demolished by a nuclear weapon, I'm not sure.
Every
mean-
inch. I mean, like every
Well, but-
inch.
Yeah.
I mean, he only technically in time enough at last. He only technically walks like 10 feet. So I'm sure if you walked another 10 feet, you find a store that's intact or something like that.
Right. Well, there were a lot of cases that survived fine. I mean, he found a whole damn couch.
Right.
You can
Books
find a whole
survived.
damn. Yeah,
So
exactly.
I mean, if a man can survive Hiroshima and Nagasaki, a guy can find glasses. Okay.
You'd think
The-
so.
He just needs to walk to the next town over where they're, dealing with aliens or some shit. So I
Yeah.
don't know. But I mean that's pretty much it. Like, he's annoying, he becomes frozen, or they become frozen, he runs away and probably has sex with many, many women, gets laid more than any man or any person in the entire world. He goes and talks to people and
Yeah.
annoys them. Some guy will come out of the frozen time and go, why am I deaf? Why do I need hearing aids now? Another woman would be like, why am I pregnant? That type of thing.
Oh God,
I don't know.
That's just kind of
my
nasty,
ass
honestly. Oh my God,
I'm gonna.
It's like this.
consent is important even if you're frozen.
I mean,
All the fun out of everything.
Well,
it
do
could
you
be like
want to
that.
be
Super,
frozen and have someone take advantage of you without your consent?
I mean, if you're
Especially
frozen-
that guy.
If you're frozen forever, you know.
when in Rome.
You might discover something about yourself. You never know.
Have you remember when it's like a funny story or funny joke, but when in Hollow Man when Kevin Bacon tells the Superman joke, like Wonder Woman's buck
weird.
naked laying spread eagle, and then he goes down and has sex with her real quick, comes back and she's like, what was that? And Green Lantern, or no, whoever the invisible person is, goes, I don't know, but my ass hurts. Yeah. So it's actually a really fucked up funny joke, but that's what we see. Once again, Jacob, if they don't know what we're good for, then they don't know our podcast. So yeah. We're good for sex jokes and weird kind of thoughts. In all
Weird
honesty, like
thoughts with Nick
Yeah.
and Jake.
yeah, you're a weird guy, Ace. I don't know. What else you guys want to talk about with this episode? I mean, it's not going to be a very long episode.
I think that
which is fine.
we kind of covered all the important shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. the sad thing is we don't have like a Raymond or an Alex.
Well,
We have basic
I
thoughts. We're
mean,
basic
I think
bitches now.
I think that you could, if you're like talking of Alex, I think you could talk about how like he doesn't have filters. He seems unable to, like, he jumps subject to subject, and there is something there that you could probably talk about someone who is on the spectrum in some way, shape, or form. I don't have enough information or knowledge to talk in depth or even knowledgeably about it.
I mean, the sad part is he never gets to watch Star Wars. He never gets to watch, Debbie's Does Dallas. He never gets to watch Caligula. He never gets to watch,
I mean, he
The
misses out some
Fall of
great
the House of
porn.
the Usher. Just there's many things he doesn't get to do.
Oh,
Sex
100%.
Sits there on the steps going, man, I wish I could watch Rocky in the
A very
robot.
specific
Never
one to
gets
talk
see
about.
Masters of the Universe. And
Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Dolph
He
Lundgren.
definitely is not worried about Remo Williams. I can tell you that much.
Oh,
Well, he should be.
poor man.
Yeah, no doubt.
That
Yeah, I
poor
think we've
man
covered
saved himself.
I think we've covered all the. I don't know what else you talk about with this. I mean, we've kind of discussed basically everything outside of the guy with all the coffee, who's diversified.
Yeah.
Right. That's the most amazing contraption ever. It's just guy walks in with a bunch of donuts. I love the fact that he like as soon as he
Yeah,
clicks the
espresso
time to
machine.
freeze it, yeah, he picks up the donut, eats it, puts it back, and the guy's like, "Who the fuck eat this donut?" It's just I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
There's small parts like that were funny, but overall, I'm just the stuff I wrote for notes is just it's kind of basic bitch stuff. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that espresso
Okay.
machine was gigantic. It's like this is the most gigantic espresso machine I've ever seen.
It was impressive, no doubt.
Yeah,
Mighty impressive.
Yeah.
that's what she said. No, Jacob, hit us up with the closing narration before I forget.
Mr. Patrick Thomas McNulty, who had a gift of time. He used it and he misused it. And now he's just been handed the bill. Tonight's tale of motion and McNulty in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that would have been
Don't
a good
you-
title too. Motion and McNulty.
Right.
I keep on wanting to call this guy McGillicuddy. I don't know why.
'Cause
Or when
he's-
I look at the name, it looks like McNutty.
I mean, he is McNutty, so he's very nutty.
That he is.
I mean, don't you hate it when you misuse it and even handed the
Do
bill?
you
for
have an
misusing
issue
it?
with McNutties?
Yeah,
No
it.
issue at all.
I
Good.
McNutty all over the place.
Lots of my McNutties are running around all over the place.
So tail of motion and McNutties. Yeah. So, anyways, with that said, that is that is an episode. That is a kind of stopwatch. Bland basic bitch. Like,
Oh, do you guys
that's
want
what
to know
she's-
where it falls for paste and IMDb?
Sure, Trey, why don't you tell us?
Ah, yeah. That's the one thing I add to this podcast, so I better do the thing.
I got one job.
Trev, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I have one job.
And I
that is
don't
to
do
keep this
it well.
podcast in check.
Bullshit. All right, so where do you guys think this fell with paste, knowing how paste operates?
1,755.
Midway.
Midway? So what, like 70, 80?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
10-
That sounds good.
106.
Damn, they really like
Too
this
far.
episode, huh?
No. They compared it to a second-rate Time Enough at Last.
I get that. I
Uh-huh.
don't think not really. I think the ironic twist of fate, the way that it happens, is like that. It is like Time Enough at Last. But like what happens, how it happens, all that is very different. I think it is a situation where something big happens to someone and they are getting what they think they want, and then something really ironic happens to just totally fuck their day. But
Yeah, it feels like
that's
the
only way I think
it feels like the camera episode with mixed with Time Enough at Last. Like, he has this like crazy contraption and then he gets fucked over in the end. So
Yeah. And IMDb had it exactly halfway point for where we're at right now. It's at 66.
damn it. It could have been 69.
Yeah.
If only Alex were here, she would be mad at that.
I'm
Anyways.
probably more in line with IMDb on this one.
Yeah.
It's very middle of the road.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, let's try to figure that out. With the greatest ranking list of all time, the Twilight Zone ranking list, the greatest list
40.
ever since stopped it.
Number 4.
Number 4?
Number 4.
40.
All right, fine. 107. 169. 169.
No, you can't do that because there's only 156 episodes.
So we can have crap and dirt in between.
Serling did not make crap and dirt, sir.
I don't
Well,
know. Have you seen The Jungle?
well, he didn't make much crap and dirt. I'll
Right.
go with that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he was a guy of many talents. Sometimes
Couple
those talents
stinkers in
weren't
there.
well used.
One of them's at
Yeah.
40.
One was at 123.
One of them is at
Anyways,
69, dudes.
Right. So I'll start here. Is this better or worse than The Chaser?
The Chaser's
Chaser's
that
kind
one
of a
they
comedic-
remade.
76.
They remade
Yeah.
from Tales from the Crypt. I don't like starting with that one because
well, I mean, Mr. Beavis. Mr. Beavis is right above it. Like,
okay, yeah, there you go.
Well, okay, real quick before you go too much further. At 77 is Third from the Sun. That's one that has a banger ending. Like, that's what makes that one good.
Yeah.
but the
I like
question I
Third from
have
the
is
Sun more
like,
than this one.
well, that's the question I have is like, does the ending to this, would you consider a banger ending? Like, is it feel like a Third from the Sun? Third from the Sun has a ending. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stopwatch is like, oh, I kind of saw that coming.
Well,
Even though
even-
Jacob says he didn't.
Even Mr. Beavis, you said it's like I liked Mr. Beavis more than this one. I remember that when we were working up to Mr. Beavis, everybody there was like this general consensus that it wasn't a very good episode. I like that episode.
I did too. But again,
Okay,
that one's
well-
that's one that's kind of a little bit more on the funny side too.
Yeah, I enjoyed
blame
that,
Tripp
but
for
I
that.
enjoyed it more than this one.
Yay! I
The
get
whole middle
blamed for
portion of
things.
this, just like, I just need to do something. Where's Mr. Beavis? I lost it.
75.
75.
I lost that. There it is.
You know, because we have a lot of episodes. I blame myself for that. Isn't it great to have to look at a list that's like 124 episodes long?
I'd put it in like Nervous Man in the $4 Room. That's getting more in line with where I think this episode is. I think Nervous Man was probably a little bit better because it had some technical prowess to it that I thought was interesting that kept me
Yeah.
interested. But we're in that's the neighborhood. I feel like that's the right neighborhood.
Right. Well, Escape
last-
Clause is definitely a better episode than this.
Yeah, what was the last flight? Is that the
That's the British guy, World War One pilot that comes.
Oh yeah, that
The
one was better than
future.
this one. I like that one more than this one. And When the Sky Was Open, The Lonely's better than this. Changing the Guard, is that high? I thought that was a good episode. I think that was better. Wow, this episode's just going higher and higher in my world. Steel. Which one was Steel? That's the robot.
That's
That's
the
one
box.
that I liked, but you
Yeah.
guys didn't.
Lee Marvin.
Okay, yeah. And I Sing the Body Electric. Yeah, here we go. Here's the wheelhouse right here. Mid-80s. That's where I'm saying this one goes in the mid-80s. Like
Where you're like,
The Mirror.
the
Wasn't
light-
that the one with Fidel Castro?
Yep.
Yeah.
the
we're-
light bulb just appear.
Yeah. we're right around. This is the area I would put it in. Mid-80s.
Yeah, I was trying to look down the list as I'm like renumbering everything. What the fuck? What just happened? Is this
What
like better? Is this better than like Midnight Sun?
I don't think so. Like, it's not a bad episode, but I think Midnight Sun was more more engaging.
I thought Midnight Sun's ending twist was really contrived, but I will say that overall I like Midnight Sun's episode. I was more engaged with Midnight Sun's episode, like from the beginning to end. This one, like I said, just had that middle portion. I was just like, get on with it. So yeah, I think Midnight Sun's better than this one.
Was Mute the one with the little girl that was telepathic?
Yeah, I liked that episode. I know Nikki
Yeah.
hated it. I would actually.
I don't
think
hate.
It's better
I
than
just
this.
dislike.
Strongly dislike.
What
Of
about
late, I
between
think
Dead
it's
Man's
pretty
Shoes and Young Man's Fancy?
I'm fine with that because it gives me less to have to do.
good. Is it Young Man's Fancy. Which one was that?
That's the one the guy goes back to his mom's house and he turns into
No,
a
I think
child.
this is better than that. I think this is like Midnight Sun area.
Yeah, I do think this was better than that because I hated the end of that episode. I thought the end of it, they just screwed the pooch. I was on board with that episode, and then right there at the end, they just like lost it with the
Yeah.
mom showing up and all that. I was like, man, they could have done so much more with that. Had the same
mean-
basic idea, but whatever. We're not talking about that episode. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Or like
No, I
between
mean,
Mute
like-
and as of late, I think of Cliffordville.
I mean, I would put it between. I mean, this is like semantics at this point, but I put it like between Midnight Sun and Mute. But that's because I wasn't as huge of. I mean, it depends. Like,
yeah, no, I'm good with that. I think. No.
what do you think? What do you think, Jacob?
I like Mute more than this one. But
So-
I
But it-
mean, we
Put it
I
between.
don't really care. Like,
this
I think
point,
that's
it's not
like a
that big a
perfect.
deal.
Then let's go between Mute and as of late, I think of Cliffordville.
I mean, as long as it's above I Love Late, I think of Cliffordville. I think Alex will be happy and we'll be happy. So,
Yeah, she really didn't like Cliffordville.
yeah,
I mean,
she
there's a
probably
guy
gonna
with
be
a
mad.
bad bald wig.
It's
Bald
Right.
cap.
We're talking about. Well, right next to it now, there's an episode with a lot of frozen stock footage. So
Yeah. It's an Ed Wood episode.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I think that works. So, with that said, new number 91 is a kind of stopwatch. Number 1 is still Eye of the Beholder, which I don't think at this point, after Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, I don't think we have another episode that's going to replace Eye of the Beholder. I really don't. I think that's our official number 1 for the entire rest of the series. So,
are we gonna start
it's-
this back over when we move into the '80s one? Or are we just gonna keep on
No,
going?
we're turning into color at that point, so it's all over, Jacob.
We're
we're
gonna
going
do
to
a whole
color.
new list.
Yes.
I'm so attached to this list.
I mean, we can add the other. It's gonna be so weird looking. Like, okay, do we? I mean, it'd be funny if like I don't know some
Oh man,
random
we catch
episode
so
of the
much
80s
hate
is
if
number
we put anything from the '80s above any of these.
right.
Well, I don't know about that. You could probably get away with a couple at least.
Yeah, a few of them. But like people would, purists would be like, "Oh my god, anything from the none." There's some bad ones in the original, but they are all the worst. Original is better than any of the anything.
Right. But yeah, I mean, the only things that even can remotely hit the top 10 are like Living Doll and what's the Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, The Mask. Those are the only episodes I see that even possibly could be top 10 episodes at this point. So
Well, I tell you this, I am on IMDb the top rated episode via user reviews is Eye of the Beholder.
yeah, which makes sense,
Yeah.
at this point. It's no the monster to do on Maple Street, but I'll
For
forgive it
fuck's
this time.
sake.
No, anyways, I'm gonna redo that. So new number 91 is of course a kind of stopwatch. Number 1 is Eye of the Beholder. Number 124, The Trouble with Templeton.
And number 100 is a piano in.
The house.
See, I'm gonna have to call failure on you guys. You should know it's not number 100 anymore.
Oh
Gosh.
shit.
Gosh, guys.
Okay, number 101 is a piano in.
The house.
It sounds like you're like trying to talk to
He's
a crowd
still
of people.
going.
You're like, "Done."
He's still going. You gotta let him finish.
There's like a dead air in this.
He's gotta finish.
You made me do it twice. I'm sweating.
You've been walking outside in the podcast.
I'm older
form.
now. Going twice is a little bit tougher.
That's what
Right.
she said.
None.
We don't know. We could have been frozen. You probably did that like 25 times. We just didn't realize it.
True.
Actually, I was wondering why that snake was in my boot.
There's a snake in my boot.
Someone poisoned the whale.
Right.
Someone poisoned the
Oh,
water
God.
wheel.
Anyways, with that said, the next episode is the most hilarious episode to ever hilarious. With giraffes and things and jockeys,
Jockeys.
and it came out on my birthday, 19
What?
years before I was born.
There you go.
We'll talk about that. But anyways, that episode is considered like one of the worst episodes ever created for the Twilight Zone. But it's season 5, episode 5.
Really?
Well,
Oh,
yeah, that's what they say. I don't remember it at all. So once again, we said that about a lot of episodes, like Jess Bell and Triv wanted to put that at number 1. So
Oh, 100%.
yeah. But anyway, season 5, episode 5, called Last Night of the Jockey, directed by Joseph M. Newman. Apparently, only stars Mickey Rooney. It was like a one-man
Yeah,
play
it's-
or something.
Yeah, that's what they said about in like the what's coming next thing.
Oh, I didn't watch that because I realized I didn't record the episode, so I forgot.
Oh, and I don't know what it means one way or the other, but Paste has
Yeah.
this one at 75.
Ooh,
I don't know. In most of the annals that is not
Conch-
paced, I hear this
controversy.
is I hear this is a really bad. Like I said, I'm hearing this is a really bad episode. It could be quite good for all we know. It could be number one.
You're hearing
Maybe
things.
we're wrong.
Yes.
Turn your hearing aid up,
Maybe, yeah.
old man.
Alma, check your battery. Anyways, Triv, Jacob, just the
Yes.
two of us, three of us tonight. I don't know why I said two
You
of
can
us.
make it
Just
if we
the two
try,
of
just
us.
the three of us, you and I.
Right. You can make it if you try. Just the three of us. You and
Quite
I.
the.
Holy
Oh
shit.
my God. Yeah, I'm so tired. Anyways, Triv, Jacob, as
Yes.
always, good. Good to hear from you guys. It's not like I talk to you every day. Literally every day. I text them every day and they're like, get the fuck off my phone.
Yay.
No, you guys say that. I don't say that. I'm like, I'm lonely and scared. I need money.
I need a cookie.
But with that said, Triv,
Pumpkin
content that you have, you have content. You
Do
know,
I?
sometimes you post, sometimes you don't. Sometimes
I?
you post more than me and Jacob combined, which is what you've been doing recently.
Mhm.
So, where's that at? Where's that content at? Where's the content at?
I don't know this content of which you speak, but if you were going to find my content and you weren't frozen in time because of a dumbass with a stopwatch, you can find me here on YouTube at Trivial Theater. I do a wide I do a wide array of random obscure straight up. I do a lot of random stuff. I just put out Scream Queen, which with Linnea Quigley, which was a lost horror piece of media, which is pretty great. And coming up, it's a big thing. I'm doing a riff extravaganza, which is essentially a whole bunch of short riffs with fellow content creators and friends of the channel, riffing like weird and goofy ass training videos, PSAs, etc. First one of those will be coming out, I think, probably by the time this drops. So keep an eye out, and those will be continued through the rest of the year.
Exactly. Jacob,
Yes.
I think you're still doing videos. I know you had to take care of family and stuff like that, so your videos are like out the window. But I don't know. You say you're working on videos. I believe you.
I am slow. I have 2 videos already completed. I'm just editing them. I don't know, haven't found a lot of time, but I have 2 completed. They'll be coming soon. I'm going to a convention this weekend, so I'm going to film some of that. So that'll be a video. So there's at least 3 videos coming, and I have another one that, like another big video, I've started to put together. So more content incoming. I'm taking a mini vacation this weekend, so I'm hoping like a break will like reinvigorate me to just kind of do everything. Been kind of like, I don't want to do anything.
That's okay.
But
Gotta
check
have those
it out,
moments
YouTube,
too.
Retro JKXY. Check out my
Woohoo.
stuff that's there. More
Check it
coming
out.
soon. I'm hoping to get one of those out before I go on this thing this weekend, but I don't know. We'll see.
Exactly. Check it out. He's coming soon.
Always coming.
With my stuff, I'm kind of on hiatus because a lot of stuff I can't review at the moment because it's under embargo, just kind of like TV shows and stuff like that. Triv, I think you're going to join me to do the unless you want to join us too, Jacob. We're going to talk Twister before Twisters comes out. You know, the bar that it comes out in a couple of weeks. But
really,
like I said, I'm gonna go see Maxine tomorrow because they're doing like a sneak screening at the theater. So I'll probably review for that this podcast. But I'm in between, you know, reviews. Dark Matter, Axel Foley came out. There's a movie for that came out. That's about it. You know, do what I can when I'm not busy at work, all that good stuff. But without further ado, we're gonna head out. We're gonna see you next week. And for myself, Triv and Jacob, we'll see you guys next time in the Twilight Zone. Peace out, motherfucker.
Bye.
All right, all right.
oh my!
You gonna send us the list?
Jeff gives me away because he blinks even though I'm frozen.
That's right.
No, I want to see if Triv would freak out and go, "What's wrong with my computer?"
I think
again?"
I can tell when you're frozen and when you're not frozen. It's pretty
Yeah.
clear.
I'm trying to do this.
Just let it. Let it.
Woosah. Woosah. You can make it if you try. Just the three of us. You and I.